Back again with another action figure review. This time, it's the Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Power Rangers in Space Silver Ranger with his Silver Cycle. Let's get into it. Before we jump into this, a little background on the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Saban had the Power Rangers license for years. I think Bandai made the action figures for the Power Rangers franchise for a majority of its existence until 2019. Hasbro purchased the rights to the toy line and then just bought Power Rangers outright. And now they are making the action figures. Now that's even up in the air if you've been following any of this toy news or whatever, but I'm not going to get into all of that. A little background on Power Rangers in Space. Now this Power Rangers in Space was like the 5th series because the original 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin were followed by Zeo, which was followed by Turbo, and Power Rangers in Space was actually intended to be the end of the Power Rangers franchise until they saw how successful it was. So this guy right here, this is Zane, the Silver Ranger, the Ranger that filled in that 6th Ranger role that's kind of a tradition in most Power Ranger seasons. We're going to check out his articulation. We're going to check out the Silver Cycle. And so let me get this guy open. Okay, he's out of the box. Check out the back of the box to see what's on here. Not really anything. All right. Yes, I did just toss that onto the floor. We're going to get this guy out of the bag. Okay. So he's there. Let's get this open. And here's the Silver Cycle. That thing looks sick. All right. I'll set that over there. I'm assuming that snaps in, but we'll get to all that stuff in a second. He's got this open hand here for, I guess, a chopping or posing motion. Then there's closed fist. He's got his alternate head. I think they did okay with the sculpt. Then you have the Super Silverizer. So this is the how the weapon is supposed to look when it's in blaster form. You know, it's supposed to be a blaster that turns into a sword. And of course, as every nerd knows, guns that turn into swords are awesome. And this is no different. Let's go ahead and put these in his hand. I got his Super Silverizer weapon in his hand in the blade mode. There's the blaster form right there. A little tricky getting it on because you have to slide the ring around his wrist and then try to maneuver the handle to the blade into his hand. That's one reason I didn't put the blaster mode version into his other hand. Yeah, but he looks cool. Let's get into some articulation. Okay, as far as his articulation goes, standard fare with most action figures. 6 inches tall, maybe a little taller than that, closer to 7 inches. Basically in scale with Hasbro's Marvel Legends line. A lot of the articulation is very similar. He's got his double elbow swivel. He got a wrist swivel, and of course as I said before, the hands come out so you can interchange them. So now he's got his closed fist in. His head has a up and down, left, right, and he can go side to side a little bit. He's got a double ab crunch, like one near the upper chest and then one in the lower abdomen. I'm not finding a waist swivel on this figure. Nope, no waist swivel. That's interesting. Not super important, but it would be nice to have one. Thigh swivel double knee bend, ankle rocker, and ankle pivots back and forth as well. Thank goodness it could do that, because I thought I broke my figure. We know it does that. So the boots can pop out. Didn't know that. That just scared the crap out of me. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about it in terms of articulation. This is a great figure. Only thing I probably would have done differently is if you look at the paint, he looks more gray. I kind of wish like some of the silver they used to do like the Silver Surfer figures, or at least some of the Silver Surfer figures in the past from Marvel. I wish they would have used a little bit, maybe a little bit of that paint in here. They did a really good job with what they had, but it's just a personal preference. It's still a really, really good action figure. I have no complaints at all. I'm going to put some of these accessories over to the side, and we're going to grab his alternate head. So the head is on a ball peg, and wow, the alternate head's always hard to put back on. All right, there we go. Alternate head is on now. And now with his alternate head on, we can pose him in the traditional Power Rangers way of standing heroically with his helmet in his hand. I'm going to put this head back on. Now we're going to assemble the silver cycle. Okay, the silver cycle is assembled. It was just putting the handlebars and the handlebars and this top portion here. They needed to be applied. But this is pretty well done. The wheels are made of rubber. Nice sturdy hunk of plastic. It doesn't feel hollow. They did a pretty good job with it. I'm going to try to put the camera down for a second and see if I can get the Silver Ranger on top of the bike as if he's riding it. Let's see what we got. No, already this top portion is trying to come back off. All right, that looks good. Cool way to display this guy. Make him do a wheelie and everything. That's awesome. Great representation of this character and this accessory on the show. All right, this looks really, really cool in this form. I think one thing they could have done was probably put maybe some lights or something for lights and sounds in this panel. Or not even lights and sounds, because on the show, this portion did light up. So that would have been cool. But other than that, I mean, there's only so much you can do with a Power Rangers character in suit. So I will say that this is a very, very good representation of this character, of this Power Ranger, and of this accessory. Unfortunately, this bike does not transform into the actual Galaxy Glider as it did on the show. But this is still pretty cool. And it has a little bit of articulation. The wheels, you know, the front wheel moves left and right. And it's very well put together. This will wrap up my review of the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Silver Ranger from Power Rangers in Space with his Silver Cycle accessory. Be sure to check out the Dee Harris Brand on Instagram at the Dee Harris Brand _216, as well as Team Prodigy 216. Be sure to subscribe to the Dee Harris Brand on YouTube, where you will find this show, The House of Hobbies 216, as well as a lot of my media work and the show that anchors this channel, On Screen with Dee Harris. A lot more fun stuff coming. But until then, as usual, be blessed, stay safe, take care, and I will check you guys out on the next one. Thanks for watching.